Oh, maybe that's better. Okay. So my name is Noni Causey. I'm the executive director of BEAM, which Susan said stands for the Black Educational Achievement Movement. And I want to put this up a little bit so I can look at y'all. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Yes, yes, yes. I am so super duper proud and actually honored to be asked to speak. I was in just a moment ago when I heard about the 3 Ps, the patience, persistence, and positivity. I thought, oh my God, if this isn't the perfect opportunity for me to expose something, often people don't want to tell you the truth about who they are, right? Because if you look at my life right now, it looks real fancy, right? I got a big old house on the hill in the middle of the hood, right? It's got all these wonderful posters and signs. I'm the chair of the NAACP Education Committee. You know, I got all this stuff that looks like I got it going on, right? And often we see people's outsides without knowing who they really are. The reason I chose to accept this invitation, I am not a public speaker, by no means at all. And actually, I don't even like talking in front of people. I'm the one that's a doer, right? Like, you give me a job, you tell me to do this, hey, I'm on it. I got the babies. I'll do whatever it takes. But often I don't feel like I have what it takes to give somebody a message. So when I heard those 3 Ps, I thought, Noni, you can do this and share the truth about who you are. I was a POIC student. As a matter of fact, Rosemary Anderson was the principal, and POIC used to be over here 2 blocks away from my house. And I would walk by there all the time on my way up to Humboldt. And Miss Anderson would say, Gail, now you know you're supposed to be in school. Gail, you know, are you late today? And I would just stop in and talk to her because she was so kind, loving, and nurturing. And she always had a positive word to say to me. So fast forward, that school that I was on my way to, when I hit middle school, it was a wrap. Like, I was done. I got bused across town, and I was in a place that felt so foreign. And I was so angry, and all I remember was fighting all the time. I needed to fight so I could get home. I feel like I've been fighting my whole life. And I left school in the 7th grade. I had a 7th grade education until one day I lost the job. And they said, you don't have a degree, so you can't apply for this job. And I remember thinking at that moment, because everybody has said, go to college, do this. And I thought, for what? I hate school, hated it, right? I told you, I'm gonna be honest. Don't mean that I didn't do it. It just means that I hated it. And so when I lost my job, they said, Noni, I'll never forget. And actually, the woman who told me this was working at POIC some years ago. And the principal, Dr. Charlene Williams, was there. And she was at this school, at this job that I was at when they fired all of us. And you guys, I remember thinking I was 40 and I thought all I had was a GED. And I felt like I would never be anything. I have 4 sons. And I just thought, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I showed a person my resume. And if you guys ever got a paperback that was corrected, it had red marks all over it. And she said, Noni, you're a real smart lady, but you need to go get an education. And I thought, oh, like, you know, kind of had my nose turned up, but I listened to her and I went back to school. And most of my kids were grown, and my youngest son was in middle school. And I remember going to school, sitting in the back going, and then walking out of there not knowing, and going home crying, sobbing, because I didn't think I would ever make it through school. And and I'm gonna tell you, when the day came that it was time for me to graduate from PCC, I stood in line and I was about to walk up to the podium. And all of a sudden, I hear somebody going, "Mom!" And I turn around and I look up, and all 4 of my sons were running down the stairs, and they had flowers. And they started throwing flowers at me, and they said, "Mom, we are proud of you." And I'm going to tell you, because of where I came from and the life that I led, that was the first time they had ever told me they were proud of me. I want to talk about persistence, y'all. That job that I had that made me go back to school, I started PCC when I was looking. I just scanned it, but I couldn't figure out how to pull it up. I have my report card here in my hand from PCC. I started in somebody do the math on this, 1979 is when I started, because that was my first child. And I said, I wanted him to know that his mom was going to be smart. I graduated in 2012. That is almost, what was that? 30 years, 29 years to get a 2-year degree. If that ain't persistence and patience, I don't know what is. I'm gonna tell you, at the beginning of this report card, of this transcripts, it's a 5-page transcript, and it says FFF, XX, no pass. Oh, I did get a B 1 year, and then it says XX, PP. It goes on for 5 pages. I had attempted, I think it takes 65 credits, maybe even 80 to graduate. I attempted over almost 300 credits because I kept going in and I kept trying and I kept trying. And you couldn't have told me ever that I would have a degree. Not only did I graduate from there, somebody told me to go on and get an undergrad. And I went. And I got an undergraduate degree, like shaking my head the whole time, unbelieving what was happening. And finally, I got a job working at PCC, and I was so proud. And the lady said, "No, you need to go back to be a teacher because you got to tell your story." And I was like, "That takes a master's." And I'm going to tell you, that year, I went back and I was shaking in my boots. I didn't believe I could do it. And within 3 years, I walked out of there with a master's in education. On Father's Day, that I could not believe. My father came from the deep South with a 3rd grade education, and all he wanted was his family, his children, to get an education. So I'm going to tell y'all, you may not like it when you talk about patience, like being patient, asking for help. I remember like struggling the whole time, but I never gave up. I never gave up. Persistence is, even when I wanted to give up, I would come home and I remember saying, "Okay, I'm done. I quit school." My son looked at me. He said, "Oh no," he said, "I'm finna quit." I was like, "You don't get to quit." He said, "You don't let me quit, so you don't get to quit either." And that son graduated from POIC. He went to De La Salle. He got kicked out. He went to Franklin. He got kicked out. He ended up at POIC. And that was the year I wanted to quit. And me and him both, he left POIC and he got his cap and gown just like you guys. And we went over to Peninsula Park. And we celebrated and took pictures together. And those are some of the most impactful events in my life, is the time where somebody can look at me and think that like I'm something to be proud of. Somebody's looking at you. I want you to hear me. Somebody is looking at you, whether it's your brother, your sister, your cousins, your friends, your neighbors. You guys are now the next leaders, the next people that are going to sit in chairs and make decisions. You guys are the next teachers. Like, believe it or not, and I didn't think that either, but you guys are going to be running things in another 10 years. And I want you to hear me. Like I said, I always don't feel that I know what I'm doing. I often feel lost and scared, but I don't quit no matter what. And that's the message that I have tonight, is like, no matter what you feel like, what you think, because what you think and who you are two different things. My friend used to tell me, what you think of you is none of your business. And what other people think of you is none of your business. You just keep moving and putting one foot in front of the other. And I guarantee you, you'll look around and think, wow, how did my life get like this? The last thing I'm going to say is patience, persistence, and positivity. So all the time, you know, there's been a lot of ups and downs in my life, many that I would care. I didn't always live on this side of the world. I had a horrible addiction. I've done some things I'm not very proud of. However, I remember just trying to keep thinking, like, kind of like the little train that could. I think I can. And I'll never forget the day that I got clean and sober. And today, I sit here with 32 years clean and sober. My grandkids have never, ever, ever seen me drink, seen me smoke anything, seen me use paraphernalia. Like, they never have to. And that's like that positivity. Even when I think like I'm down and all that, I can just look at all the evidence in my life that says, put a smile on your face, be grateful. I get up today and I get to choose what socks I'm gonna put on. I get to choose what kind of clothes I'm gonna put on. I get to choose. I didn't always have that choice. And I started right where everybody is. I'm telling you, I was right there. And whether you like school or whether you don't, like, you keep moving. Don't stop no matter what. You'll drop a lot of friends on the way. Don't stop no matter what. You'll drop family members along the way. Don't stop no matter what. Whatever your dreams are, they can come true. Whatever your dreams are, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because today you belong. Today you matter. Today you have finished. And this is the beginning of a long road. And remember that people are behind you. So I want you all to take this day and know that you are getting ready to reach for the stars. Thank you.